Aaron Rodgers has always been the kind of name that sparks debate, admiration, and a little mystery. Some call him the most gifted quarterback in NFL history, while others question his off-field controversies. But love him or doubt him, there's no denying that Rodgers' path from an overlooked college player to one of football's biggest stars is loaded with twists, triumphs, and shocks that keep fans on the edge of their seats. Growing up in California, Rodgers wasn't on any major recruiting radar. He ended up at Butte Community College, far from the big-time programs that feed players into the NFL. But as soon as he got on the field, it was clear he possessed uncanny accuracy and a calm under pressure that separated him from other junior college hopefuls. His standout season at Butte made Cal take notice, and at Berkeley, Rodgers' reputation soared. He racked up touchdowns, avoided interceptions, and flashed a football IQ that was off the charts. By the time he tied an NCAA record with 23 straight completions in a single game, NFL scouts were already buzzing that he might be the next big thing. Yet in a moment still replayed to this day, Rodgers slid down the draft board in 2005. Hopes that his childhood team, the 49ers, would pick him first overall evaporated when they took Alex Smith instead. Cameras caught every flicker of anger on Rodgers' face, and that humiliating wait became one of draft's most famous storylines. Finally, the Green Bay Packers selected him at 24, turning a nightmare into a destiny. He arrived in a city that worshipped Brett Favre, a quarterback Rodgers would back up for 3 long years. Favre didn't hide the fact that he had no interest in mentoring. This forced Rodgers to pick up tips from a distance, studying playbooks and analyzing Favre's risk-taking style. When the Packers named Rodgers the starter in 2008, fans were split. Could anyone replace a living legend? Rodgers answered that question by surpassing 4,000 yards in his first year as a starter, pairing it with a sharpness that offered a glimpse of what was to come. Though the team finished 6-10, the flashes of brilliance hinted that Green Bay had made the right call. By 2009, Rodgers was widely recognized as an elite quarterback. His accurate throws, smart decisions, and occasional rushes kept defenses guessing. Then in the 2010 playoffs, he turned a good year into a legendary one. Sneaking into the postseason as a 6th seed, the Packers caught fire, and Rodgers' performance soared. He dismantled the top-seeded Falcons and led Green Bay all the way to the Super Bowl win over the Steelers, bringing the Lombardi Trophy back to Titletown. He walked away with the game's MVP award, proving to everyone that the draft day slide was ancient history. If he wowed people in 2010, he left them speechless in 2011. Rodgers had a season for the ages, piling up 45 touchdowns with only 6 picks. His passes fit into windows that seemed microscopic, and he dissected defenses with a mix of intelligence and raw skill. Though the Packers fell short in the playoffs against the Giants, it was clear Rodgers had climbed into the stratosphere of quarterback greatness. Analysts ran out of adjectives for his quick release, precise ball placement, and ability to salvage broken plays. That jaw-dropping style would become his hallmark. But even brilliance has its rough edges. While Rodgers stacked up MVP awards, 4 in total, he endured a string of crushing playoff losses. There was the overtime strip sack in Arizona, the devastating onside kick meltdown in Seattle, and multiple frustrating exits at the hands of the 49ers. Each time, fans wondered if the Packers were wasting his prime, or if Rodgers himself was partially to blame. Rumors swirled that he clashed with management, especially when it came to drafting and retaining talent. The tension mounted when Green Bay selected Jordan Love in the first round of the 2020 draft, echoing the Favre-Rodgers scenario years before. Rodgers didn't crumble under the spotlight. Instead, he turned in back-to-back MVP seasons in 2020 and 2021, showcasing some of his most impressive work yet. His connection with star receiver Davante Adams reached historic levels, and Rodgers' touchdown-to-interception ratio climbed higher than any quarterback in league history. But behind that success, rifts with the Packers' front office persisted, fueled by disagreements over personnel decisions. Off the field, Rodgers also faced questions about his personal life, including rumors of estrangement from his family and controversies about his health-related statements. Eventually, the friction brought about a seismic shift. In 2023, Rodgers left Green Bay for the New York Jets, a move that stunned the sports world and gave Jets fans the hope they'd been craving. Yet the excitement was short-lived. when Rodgers tore his Achilles just moments into the season. Though he would later return, the suddenness of that injury threw his future into doubt. Headlines about possible alternative treatments and unorthodox recovery methods flooded the news cycle, adding another layer of mystique to an already unpredictable career. Rodgers' story is more than a highlight reel. It's a saga of potential, frustration, and moments of pure magic. His ability to throw jaw-dropping deep balls and thread passes through invisible seams made him the league's ultimate wild card. Whether he was lobbing a last-second Hail Mary in Detroit or scrambling to launch a bullet downfield, he gave fans moments they'll talk about for decades. His all-time best touchdown-to-interception ratio stands as a testament to the careful calculation behind his gunslinger flair. Yet for all the brilliance, he's also a puzzle. The repeated playoff heartbreak, the media soundbites that sparked controversies, and the behind-the-scenes friction with coaches and executives shows more to Rodgers than just a golden arm. Perhaps that complexity is part of what drew so much attention. One moment he's a laid-back Californian with a quick wit, and the next, he's stirring up drama by calling out critics or dropping cryptic hints about his future plans. Still, if we measure greatness by how often a player leaves us speechless, Rodgers ranks near the top. His highlight reel is packed with the unimaginable. He had seasons where he looked practically unstoppable, reading defenses like a mind reader, and threading perfect passes that defied geometry. Few quarterbacks have combined arm talent, mobility, and football IQ so seamlessly. While others might collect more rings, the sense of awe Rodgers generated might be unmatched. That said, his legacy remains up for debate. To some, he's the ultimate example of skill, overshadowed by questionable leadership and front office battles. A champion who perhaps left more trophies on the table. Others see him as an icon who elevated quarterback play to a new dimension, overshadowed only by a mix of tough breaks and organizational missteps. The truth likely lies somewhere between, forming a portrait of an all-time great who exists in a gray area of unfulfilled potential and extraordinary accomplishments. As he nears the end of his career, the conversation about his place in the pantheon of NFL quarterbacks heats up. Does he rank above Peyton Manning? Does his single Super Bowl ring truly capture the depth of his gifts? And will the lingering disputes with the Packers or the abrupt Achilles injury tarnish his final chapters? No matter the answers, the fact that these debates rage on is proof of how captivating Rodgers continues to be. Whether you celebrate him as the greatest ever or see him as a flawed genius, there's no denying he changed the quarterback position. He made improbable throws routine and infused the game with a sense of wonder that few others could. He also opened a window into the human side of stardom, revealing that even the most gifted players can get tangled up in drama and doubt. The blend of brilliance and controversy will keep Rodgers' name alive long after he leaves the field for good. In the end, maybe that's the point. Rodgers' career has been a clash of the spectacular and the chaotic, offering fans a taste of both the sublime and the frustrating. He could orchestrate game-winning drives that make you believe in miracles, but also spark feuds that make you question where he truly stands. Through it all, he remains unapologetically himself, a quarterback who charts his own course, invites both praise and criticism, and never quite fits into a neat, predictable box. So, as we reflect on his prime and wonder if he'll ever produce any final surprises, remember that Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback who thrives on defying expectations. Maybe he'll bounce back one last time, or maybe we've already seen the best he can give. Either way, his legacy is secure as one of football's most fascinating figures. And for all the scrutiny and speculation, one fact remains. When Rodgers drops back in the pocket, you can't look away. You might just witness something you've never seen before and might never see again.